So take a deep breath. Prepare yourself for the one, the only, with all the glory and beauty of mankind present, Dr. Reverend Ken Wilcox!
Hey! Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living of St. Augustine. We're very happy to have you here on this really special Sunday morning. So know you're in a great place, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. You know, we're kind of a little different spiritual community. We're a community without dogma. We don't tell you what you should believe. We encourage you to come to a God of your understanding, one that can empower your life and encourage you on to live the best of your life with more joy, more love, more happiness. And to make that happen, all you have to do, one simple thing, just a simple thing. Leave all your troubles, your would'ves, your could'ves, your should'ves, your barbecue concerns, all that stuff, your potato salad worries, all that stuff, leave it outside. Outside. It'll be waiting on you when you get out there. And for the next 45 minutes or so, open up an avenue of spirit possibilities. What are spirit possibilities? More love, more joy, more happiness, more great music, more friendship, more laughter, more dance, all those things in life that make us feel alive, because that's what God is doing through you and through me, showing up in the physical, recognizing itself through our love, our joy, and our laughter. So know you're in a great place this morning, and Spirit is going to recognize and reward you abundantly. Well, I have lots of announcements this morning, so buckle up. The first one is we have our class continuing at Thursdays at 2 o'clock. This is an affirmative prayer class. We've already done the first one, but you're welcome to join. If you want to learn how to do affirmative prayer in your life, and it is a life-changing technique, then this is the class for you. We offer this class for a love offering. Also on 10 o'clock on Fridays, we have our meditation in motion class. And this is something new we've started. It's really wonderful. So be sure to drop in on that. And we have had so many activities this past week. I need to give a big thank you out to so many people. Last Sunday, we had our picnic. You can see people lined up there for the fried chicken. I barely got a piece. It was like a hippo had fell in a pool of piranhas when they opened up that fried chicken. It was a wonderful time. Pat Conover had organized it for us, and so that was wonderful. Yes, thank you, Pat. You see, I'll go back one slide, please. You see the new curbs outside painted cautiously yellow so people don't trip on them. Thank you, Bridget and Carolyn Lang, for doing that. The wonderful new planter outside that replaced those Frankenstein-looking scrub brushes we had out there. That is Kathy and Helen's activities. There you go. And finally, our play on Friday night. There you go. Murder at the Pie Auction. It was a real murder. It was great. Now, I've got two more important announcements. Let's talk about y'all's retreat coming up first, Lucy.
Do you need a getaway, a reset, or just some time to connect with nature and yourself? Not the one that's all busy and worked out with this life stuff going on, but the one that opens and softens when you're hanging out in high vibrational music and beautiful nature. Come to the mountains of North Georgia, short drive from here, maybe like 7 hours. 6.5. And we will be doing this June 25th through the 29th. It's 4 nights. It's just long enough to be a long weekend and short enough to not be too disturbing to your lives. We already have a very special group of people joining us, so the energy is on. So if you need a reset, if you need to just tune back in, come join us. Did I miss anything?
Well, we led a retreat in Mexico that a few of you were at, and we wanted Jim Cadigan just to tell a few words about how that was for him, and maybe he would come up and share.
Well, this was kind of unexpected to be up here this morning, but I did want to talk about the trip down to Mexico, down to Cancun, actually a good hour outside of Cancun. When I heard that this was going to be a Buddhist retreat, I knew very little about it, but I said that if Sam and Lucy are putting it together and Maimu says that it's something we should do, I decided to go. And I have to tell you, I didn't know what to expect, but I knew that whatever was going to happen down there was going to be what was meant to happen, and it was perfection. Because I know Sam and Lucy, and I trust them 100%, and wherever they want to take me, I'll go. I came away from Mexico. I came away from Mexico with a sense of love and joy and connection that I didn't go there with. So I highly recommend this.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Thank you, guys. If you have questions, check in with Sam and Lucy. Now, here is the funnest part of today's announcements, and Ted Manley is going to come up and kick it off.
Good morning, everyone. Let me grab something here. Keely, would you like to join me? This is that wonderful time of the year that we get to celebrate one of our Venus Manley winners. The Venus Manley Scholarship has just completed its 9th year of existence here consecutively. Believe it or not, I'd like to thank so many people who every year assist us in organizing this. My lovely wife, Dr. Tangela Manley, couldn't make it with us this morning. She's having trouble with her knee, so she can't walk too well today. Sorry about that, but her heart is here, and as you know, she is. My son, who's one of the recipients of the first Venus Manley Scholarship. If we're simulcasting, he's watching us right now from his room in Auburn, Alabama, where he's attending his first year of medical school. Every year, we have traditionally given 3 $1,000 scholarships to graduating high school seniors with documented disabilities in St. Johns County. And this year is no exception to that. The 3 $1,000 scholarships, and typically an honorarium for those others who apply for the scholarship. But we also give an honorarium in honor of Dolores Ellison. This year, one of the winning recipients is Keely Webster, who's standing next to me. And her family, her very supportive family. Our applicants put themselves through writing a 250 to 300-word essay. They come here to the center. They sit in front of a panel, or if they can't be here physically, they do it online on Zoom. Keely she just excited us with her energy. She's a lovely young lady. Keely attends, or I guess is graduated now, from Beachside High School. It's one of the newest high schools in St. Johns County. She told me this morning it's been in existence for 3 years. I thought it was the first or second year, but time flies, as we know. So we're in a growing county, and your principal was very, very supportive as well. I know he's very proud of you. He responded right away to all of our outreach to doing this. So we're proud to have you, Keely. I would like to ask you to say a few words, if you would, about what your plans are for next year, and just tell us a little bit about your experience at Beachside High School and your plans going forward.
Hi everyone, my name is Keely Webster. My disability is I have a hearing impairment, so ever since I was in kindergarten, I have worn hearing aids, which you can't see them, they're behind my ears, but I promise you they're there. I am also a military kid, so I have lived in 8 different places, 2 different countries, and of course in the US. And then I have also gone to a lot of different schools, as you may know with a military kid. But ever since I toured the University of Mississippi, which is where I will be attending next year, I really found a home there. If you know anything, if you find a home, you stick stick to it. So I will be attending the University of Mississippi and going into the Croft Institute for International Studies. And I will be also doing a minor in ASL interpreting, which is something that I've been learning at Beachhead High School for the past 3 years. Well, 2, but I did 3 years there. No, I didn't. I did 2 years there, but I learned ASL 1, 2, and 3. But I attended Beachhead High School for my last 2 years of high school. My first 2 years were one in Japan and one in Gulf Breeze, which is over in Pensacola. But my experience at Beachside was like any other high school. I did 3 sports. I did swim in the fall, I did basketball, and then I did beach volleyball, and I've also trained for 2 half marathons with Marathon High Club. So that's my little experience, but I am super excited to be stepping into this next journey at the University of Mississippi, and hotty toddy, go Miss.
See what I mean? So, Keely, we'd like to present you with not only the check for $1,000, but a love offering, a gift of another thing. The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens is the book that I think you'll enjoy reading, and some other very lovely things, too, and a gift card from Reverend Kent and everybody else. And I'm going to hand over to Reverend Kent as well.
All right. Thank you, Keely. Okay. Thank you, Keely. We are very excited about your success. And, you know, when I was your age, Keely, long time ago, when I would go to family functions, I had one aunt, and she would come up beside me, and she would try to do it secretly. She would slip me a 10 or a 5, which back then was a lot of money. And so we've got Keely, and she's going to Ole Miss, and we've got to send her up there looking good. We can't have her up there with those Mississippi girls not looking, you know, good. So if you want to sally up to Keely and slip her a 20 or so, now, we're not close to Christmas time, so I don't want to hear any jingling and jangling, no sleigh bells ringing. Slip her some silent money and let her know how much we love her and support her, how much we see in her, that she's going to go off and she's going to do amazing good work, and we're all a part of it. So we're very happy you're here this morning, Keely, and we just see nothing but good in your future. So thank you. We got a cake outside, so be sure to stick around for that. All right, guys, I think it's time.
Get ready, friends, our time has come. The celebration has now begun. What we have going, we'll take it on. This high vibration for everyone. Oh yeah, we've come so far, patient for so long. So now's the time, our wings are dry. We take off, we take flight. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Oh, get ready, friends. It has begun. This high vibration has turned us on. So now we're here, our wings are dry. We take off, we take flight. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Oh.
That every time I ever had a bad ride, hard night, tough fight, the lesson was exactly right. For my growth and my ode to myself, I just wanted to know the experience of living in the human form. A gift, a sacred shift. I can still take the ride, saying hi without the love and truth inside, but I forgot, thought I was what I was not. And remembering is the dream, is a new scene. I'm here to make a change, to be the king of the new theme. Life was fun, and we are all one, connected by a web of life. Lines running heart to heart, looking in Your light, light of mine, and I bow to you and honor your perfect path through life. No judgment, no fight, just all.
Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Wanna take you higher, higher. We can take this anywhere. Wanna take you higher, higher. Oh,
That's your part, y'all.
Wanna take you higher.
Reading and treatment, and we got the wonderful Linda Ryan coming up to do it. Come on up, Linda.
Good morning, everyone. So wonderful to be here and feeling all the energy. Those of you at home, you just don't know what you're missing. This is from a daily spiritual thing that I read every day, but this one's called Inner Peace. I am peaceful and calm. When the busyness of the world leaves me scattered and frazzled, I withdraw my attention to the outer world and focus on my inner world to better feel my connection with spirit. Prayer and meditation are just two ways to feel the presence of the divine within. Anything can renew my awareness of spirit, the unconditional love of an animal, flowers in bloom, sunny smile of a child. I make my daily habit of spending time in peace and serenity of spirit. I carry this calmness with me into the activity of the day. I now respond to the world from a place of harmony and love because nothing and no one can disturb the calm peace of my soul. And now, if you wish to close your eyes, get totally relaxed for an affirmative prayer, which I'll say in the first person, and you can take it as your own. I recognize that divine spirit in all things, everywhere present, all loving, all knowing. I am a child of that divine spirit, and I feel that calm and that peace. As I go forward into this week, I keep that calm and peace and share my love and joy to all I view and see. May it be with a smile. May it be with a hug of a friend. I know as I do this, it will spread out to others and make others feel that warmth and loving presence of spirit. To all those who are sharing sorrows tomorrow, to those who have protected us in the past, to those who are protecting us today, may all the love to them and their families be felt. That universal, unconditional love of spirit. I am so grateful for this presence, for the center, for Reverend Ken and his wonderful messages, for Sam and Lucy's music, to all our electronics volunteers, to the volunteers of this church that make this day possible, to those who have beautified our front. I am so grateful for it. I am so grateful for this unconditional love, and I know that all of this is the absolute truth. As this gratitude can be felt by all and shared by all, as I let go and let God, and so it is.
Okay, we're going to sing together. And you know the rules. It feels good. You're going for it feeling good. This song has a beautiful message. So join us as we celebrate where we live.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of green, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for patriotry that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. And crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining
Oh. Thank you, Sam and Lucy. And we do want to honor everyone who served our country today in memory of people who gave everything so that we could have the privilege of freedom. So if you did serve our country, we're very grateful for you this morning. Well, my talk title this morning is Follow the Breadcrumbs. And you know, most of us going through life or a spiritual journey, we want to get the big, clear message from Spirit. We want the skies to open up and the angels to descend and the voice of God to boom out. Here's your path. Take it. This is where you need to go. But that's not usually how it works, and for a very good reason. Imagine tomorrow morning if you're out walking the beach and all of a sudden an angel appears out of the sky and with a commanding voice tells you, give up carbs. You would be running around like Daffy Duck. Now, I love Daffy Duck, but you don't want to be Daffy Duck. There's one episode where Daffy betrays Bugs to the abominable snowman, and he justifies it. He says, I'm not like most people. Pain hurts me. So we don't want to be Daffy, because you can have that kind of big, huge breakthrough, metaphysical breakthrough, and then go back and have a Zoom call, or then go back and plan a dinner. It's hard to go back to ordinary life when you have that kind of metaphysical breakthrough. So for most of us, Spirit works quietly, intimately, the still, small voice, not in dramatic bolts or visions, but a whimper, a nudge, a subtle sign, breadcrumbs, moments that tug at your heart and spirit, a name that keeps coming up, a dream that stays with you, a feeling that says, this matters, this matters. Last week, I had a dream of a cousin of mine. I hadn't thought of him in over 60 years. He was the eldest son of my aunt that lived in Kentucky. And I remember one time when I was probably 4 or 5, he had just gotten his first car, and he would grab me and we would go out to the A&W drive-through. And I was looking for French fries, and I suspect he was cruising for girls. Yeah. I think I was the bait for the girls. Yeah. Yeah. I was cute as a button. Someone asked me, what happened? I told them 60 years, that's what happened. Now, it's so funny because being at 6 or 5 or 6, I remember 2 things so clearly about him. One thing he did is he would drizzle his ketchup on his French fries. And I had never seen that. And I was just amazed at it. That was a whole new innovation for me. The other thing was that his favorite song that year was The House of the Rising Sun. And his car radio, remember, they had the buttons, and he would play those buttons like Elton John on the piano, trying to find a station that was playing his song. Now, suddenly, after 60 years, he pops up in a dream. Yeah. A few days later, I did something that I tell you not to do all the time. See, I don't always follow my own advice. I looked at the news before I got out of the bed. I checked it on my cell phone. I don't know why I did it, because I didn't have my glasses. I couldn't see it anyway. But I saw on the news that a tornado had hit a small town in Kentucky. And I knew immediately, without clicking the link, that it was his hometown of London, Kentucky. And that's exactly where it turned out to be. And it was the headline of the New York Times. So when I read the story, I got in touch with him and his sister on Facebook and just let them know that I was thinking of them and keeping them in my prayers and hoping them and their extended family was all safe. Now, I haven't heard back from them, but that's okay, because it really doesn't matter the outcome. What matters the most is my responding to listening to Spirit and responding to it. That's the important part, because that clears the path to my greater awareness. Joseph Campbell said, the goal of life is to make your heartbeat match the beat of the universe, to match your nature with nature. The breadcrumbs of Spirit are a way of saying you're on the right path. This is good. Keep going where you're going. For a couple of weeks, when I was doing my research for the talks, I kept getting quotes from a man that I didn't know about. His name is Howard Thurman. I hadn't in ministry. I had never read anything from him. His name had never really popped up before, but I liked his quotes and I had used them. And as I was putting one of his quotes in last week, I thought to myself, I need to know more about him. Really sounds like an interesting guy. Now, last week, I also happened to be traveling down to Daytona to spend a couple of days. And I thought to myself, well, I need to check out Daytona to see what there is to do in Daytona. So I plugged it in the internet, things to do in Daytona. And one of the first suggestions that popped up was visit the Howard Thurman house. He lived in Daytona. So I thought, well, this is a clue. This is a breadcrumb for me to find out more about him. And he was an amazing, extraordinary soul. He believed that theology, to be valid, has to speak to one's life and affirm one's worth as a child of God. He studied, even though he came from Daytona, he studied with Gandhi. He had such a profound experience there. He envisioned an interfaith church where all races would be welcomed. This was a time of segregation in the South where the races couldn't even ride the same bus together, intermingled. He became a mentor to Dr. King on nonviolence. He was one that brought the idea from Gandhi back here. And when he returned home, Daytona gave him the keys to the city. He once wrote, he said, in the stillness of the quiet, if we listen, we will hear the voice of our heart giving strength to our weakness, courage to our fear, and hope to our despair. Hope to our despair. Sometimes I think that's the biggest challenge of life, is to move through it with courage and inspiration, to not give in to disappointment and despair. I read an amazing story, or actually I listened to an amazing story last week. I put it in the e-blessing, so if you get a chance, or listen to it. And it's about a woman for 60 years who did not give in to despair. She married the love of her life 6 weeks before he was to be shipped out to D-Day in World War II. For 6 weeks, they had an idyllic relationship. He went off to World War II, and on D-Day, the first announcement she got back from the military was that he was lost in battle. Then she got another announcement and said, well, he's missing. We don't really know what happened to him. And finally, that was the final thing they said. We can't locate him. We don't know where he is. We don't know if he's alive or dead. And for 60 years, she never had confirmation. Her family urged her, move on. He wouldn't want you to stay lonely. He wouldn't want you to be without a relationship. And she told them, she said, he married me for life. I'm going to marry him for life. Decades went by. A nephew tried to help her with the research. He contacted the congressman. The congressman said, no, we can't locate him. They contacted CBS News, and an intern there just did 5 minutes of research. And he says, well, this is where he's at. He's in one of the big graves at Normandy. They found him a long time ago. He had died in a plane crash on D-Day, and his body was buried there. She began to send flowers 10 times a year to the grave. And then she began to visit the grave. The grave workers, first of all, they started noticing all the flowers. And then when she showed up, they realized she was one of the last widowers to be visiting a grave. And so her story got out in the local press. And when that happened, a representative of a French village contacted her. They knew her husband, and they knew him well. They had witnessed his plane crashing. On D-Day, they saw his plane coming in. It had been shot, and it was headed towards their village. If he had crashed in their village, he would have killed hundreds. but they said they could see him from the cockpit mightily struggling to keep that plane from crashing in the village, and instead he crashed in the nearby woods. He sacrificed his life to save them. The villagers, they rushed to the crash site and they comforted him in his last moment. They held his hand as he died. They grabbed his body because they knew the Nazis would soon be there. And they buried him. And then when the military got organized, his body was buried in the military cemetery. But they never forgot his sacrifice. They named a street in his honor. They hold a memorial for him every year. His widow, she visited the hometown, she visited the village. And an elderly man had been a young man when her husband died there. And he took her to the crash site. And he said, when he crashed, I ran to him and I held his hand as he died. And she told him, she said, I'm grateful that he had friends around him as he was dying. And the French villagers, they held her and they told her and hugged her. They said, now you too have friends. You too are not on this journey alone. 60 years she had walked in that journey, never knowing what the huge courage her husband had, what the huge event his inspiration has caused. And this is what we're here to do. This is our walk, to show up, to listen, to love. Thurman said, keep alive the dream in your heart and soul, for as long as we have a dream, we cannot lose the significance of life. Now, some of us are called to make heroic sacrifices. Some of us are called to hold the hand of a stranger and make sure they don't die alone. And some of us are called to follow the breadcrumbs. Don't discount them. Don't overlook the quiet path. There's a wonderful song in Mary Poppins, actually. It was Walt Disney's favorite song of all the songs that were produced from Disney. And it wasn't a showstopper, it's a quiet song, and it's Feed the Birds. It's about a homeless woman, and she sells breadcrumbs, tuppence a bag, to feed the birds of the cathedral. The birds that are trying to look for food for their little babies. She says the babies cry out in hunger, and for this little bit, you can have crumbs to feed them. And they say from the heights of the cathedrals, the saints don't gaze at the stained glass. They look down at the breadcrumbs of compassion. Mother Teresa said, not all of us are called to do great things, but we can do small things with great love. And so I know many of us are wondering, well, where are my breadcrumbs? I don't see them. I don't feel them. And more than likely, they're right in front of you. More than likely, it's something you've dismissed. It may be the call to a long-lost relative that you haven't responded to. It may just be nice to the checkout person at the grocery store. It may be just looking in the eyes of a homeless person. Just a small act of kindness can be a sacred. Dr. Holmes, our founder, he says, if you call it dust, it is dust. If you call it God, it is God. It's the recognition of it. And we are so much more than breadcrumbs of our Creator. We are the avenue of Spirit's blessing. God isn't testing us, it is inviting us to listen, to notice, to trust, to move out. And when we do, our prayers will stop being beseechings for God's miracles. They will become God's miracles. The words of the old hymn, thou art giving and forgiving, ever blessing, ever blessed. God our Father, Christ our brother. All who live in love are thine. All who live in love are thine. This is where the breadcrumbs of life are taking us, back to love, back to knowing who we are and whose we are, that we're not victims, that we're not weak, we're not wounded, that we're here to do mighty and good work, that we're one with God and that God is good, and that we are channels of God's love and compassion right where we are, and we are here to do mighty and wondrous work. You are here to be awed with how much God loves you. And Spirit has never been disappointed in you for a moment. It's never been discouraged by your mistakes. It's always been more inspired by your possibilities. And your possibilities for love are mighty. You are here to break out a new possibility, a new heaven and a new earth, where sisterhood and brotherhood will reign over all, where the weapons of war will be turned into plowshares, where we will know each other for who we truly are, channels of God's love, channels of God's compassion, and we will bring about a new heaven and a new earth where peace and love reign over all. It's what we've been called to do, and we're up to the task. God is with us, urging us on every step of the way, and we will witness God raining down blessings upon us. It's the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine, and so it is. Thank you.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers
Thank you, guys. Now we come to the time we support our community, and we support this community because this is a special place to be. Now, you can support us in several ways. You can do so in volunteering. We always have lots of volunteer activities. You can do us in prayer and consciousness, just praying to see us growing and thriving, and you can support us financially. However you choose to support us, know that your gift to us is going to return to you multiplied abundantly. So if you will take your intention and place it over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. The ushers have stepped down. Sam and Lucy.
All right, y'all. Singing time again. 2, 3, 4. God bless
America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above, from the mountains to the valleys, to the ocean. Right with mom. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Terry. And thank you for all your support and your generosity. Your support is allowing us to grow and to thrive, to continue to be a beacon of hope and love and inspiration. So you are making the world a better place for your having been here this morning. And we're grateful for it. So we bless it, we release it, knowing it does its good and powerful work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, gang, well, we'll conclude the service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person, but take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, well, hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, well, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power. That power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. It called me by name from stardust so I could walk the soil. So here today, I know I am beloved by Spirit. I know I am on a mission from God to know the best of myself, to witness Spirit's love and compassion blooming forth and everything around me. So here today, I turn away from all ideas of victimhood, of lack and limitation. I lift my eyes to a greater knowing. I join the mighty chorus that the morning star began. I join in that celestial song of goodness, of love and kindness. I turn my face away from the darkness and I lift my eyes up to see the breaking dawn of God's possibilities for more joy, for more love, for more compassion. I know I am here in life to witness the glory of God raining down upon me and all those around me. I am here to witness, to see, to walk in a new heaven, a new earth, a new Jerusalem. And I am not turning back. Spirit has called me on, and I am on the move. And I'm not going back to any more of lack and limitation. I've played with those small ideas long enough. This morning, I see who I am and whose I am, a child of God. And I choose to see myself as Spirit sees me, not as weak and wounded, but bold, dynamic, powerful and strong, out in the world and making a difference. This is what Spirit has created me to be, and this morning I am saying yes to it all. So I leave this sacred space inspired. I leave this place encouraged. I leave here knowing that I am following the breadcrumbs of my heart and soul, and glory is my destination. This is the truth in my life. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life. It's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, this is Reverend Ken wishing you many blessings. Let's get together.